The afternoon at the community pool had started like any other. Kids splashing, parents chatting on lounge chairs, and the steady hum of summer heat hanging in the air. No one expected drama. The HOA notice board near the gate had gone mostly ignored all season, and residents were focused on sunscreen, snacks, and keeping an eye on the water. But all it took was one comment to turn the calm into chaos. It began when an HOA representative arrived with a clipboard, her voice sharp enough to cut through the laughter. She announced that several residents were violating pool rules: oversized floats, food too close to the water, and unauthorized guests. Most people barely looked up. Then she pointed directly at one mother, sitting poolside with her children, and told her she needed to remove the float immediately or face a fine. The mother stood dripping wet, confused, and embarrassed. She said the float had been there all summer and no one had complained before. The HOA rep insisted the rules had always been clear. That was when other voices joined in. One woman shouted that her kids had been using the same float for weeks. Another asked why the rules were suddenly being enforced on a crowded Saturday afternoon. The tension spread quickly. Swimmers climbed out of the pool. Phones came out. A small crowd formed near the edge as the HOA rep doubled down, flipping pages on her clipboard and threatening to close the pool early if people didn't comply. That threat lit the fuse. A woman near the deep end laughed bitterly and said the HOA only showed up when families were enjoying themselves. Another accused the association of targeting certain residents while ignoring others. The argument grew louder, overlapping voices echoing off the concrete walls. Lifeguards looked uneasy, unsure whether to intervene. The mother with the float finally snapped, saying this was supposed to be a community space, not a courtroom. Applause broke out, short, sharp, and defiant. The HOA rep tried to regain control, but the crowd had shifted. Neighbors who barely spoke to each other before were now united, questioning fines, fees, and years of strict enforcement. By the time the HOA rep left, the pool was still open, but the mood had changed. Kids slowly returned to the water, and parents exchanged knowing looks. The argument faded, but the message lingered. What exploded at the community? Pool wasn't just about rules. It was about people finally pushing back, in front of everyone, where it could no longer be ignored.